Welcome to the Say It Out Loud podcast. I'm your host, Vasavi Kumar. If you're eager to gain clarity, speak with unwavering confidence, and liberate those inner voices, you're in the perfect spot. My mission here is to empower you to break free, find fulfillment, and ignite your passion. You ready? It's time to say it out loud. I've put together a guide of my top 10 tested and proven to work practical strategies and habits to help bright women like you say no, set your boundaries right, live confidently, and build healthy relationships, starting with the relationship you have with yourself. This is a self-paced guide, and I can't wait for you to dig into it so you can start becoming your most confident self, because she's in there waiting for you. Head to the link in my show notes or go to vasavikumar.com/guide and grab it today. Welcome back to the final episode of 2022 here on the Say It Out Loud podcast. I'm recording this sitting on my couch, looking at my beautifully lit Christmas tree. I just came back from LA. I went to my first red carpet event. I went to the Unforgettable Gala celebrating Asian Americans in film and TV, and I introduced myself as a voiceover artist. Before I went to LA, I was in Playa del Carmen, sorting out my new property, my condo, which is a rental investment property that I decided to partake last year, and it's finally done. And I finally got to go see it, stay in it, spend a week in Playa del Carmen, get everything sorted out, hiring a property manager, doing all that stuff, right? And now I'm sitting here. We have, 2 weeks left until the end of the year. And I'm allowing myself to integrate all these new experiences into my DNA, into my nervous system, into my body. And so I'm taking it slow. I feel a little bit under the weather today, but my mind is still sharp. And I wanted to record this final episode for this year. So as you may or may not know, I've been promoting heavily the Say It Out Loud group program, which begins January 5th. This is the 12-week group program based off my upcoming book. Y'all, it's finally going to be coming out May 16th. And I'll be sharing the link with you so you can pre-order it. But in the meantime, what I'm really most proud of and want to celebrate is this beautiful group that I've created, like a 12-week group program based off my 12-chapter book, Say It Out Loud, to help you heal the voices in your head. When I'm asked that question, like what makes you an expert on self-talk? What makes you an expert on this? First of all, I can't stand that question, but I do have a very good answer for that. You see, I was diagnosed with a mental illness at the age of 19. I say illness with that kind of emphasis because it's like, I actually think that I have one of the healthiest minds. I went from mentally ill to mentally healthy. And the way that I did that was by learning how to talk to all these different voices in my head. Voices, thoughts, subpersonalities, whatever you want to call them. You know, we often focus on the haters. We focus on other people. We focus on what they're doing, what they're thinking. But we really don't stop to look at the voices in our own head, what we're telling ourselves. Because I can tell you this, as someone who's lived with this diagnosis of bipolar disorder since I was 19, so 21 years now, this has been my story. I can finally say, and I can say this with a lot of confidence, that regardless of whether you've been diagnosed with a mental illness or not, we all have voices in our head. And those voices in our head keep us from becoming the person that we know we are, deep, deep, deep down, before the voices told us who we are and who we aren't and what we're capable of and what we're not capable of, and here I am from rehab to recovery to real estate, owning real estate in a foreign land in Mexico, to, attending my first red carpet event. These are things that I only thought was for other people. I didn't think I was other people. I thought that I had a lot of confidence, but when you asked me to dream big, or when I wanted to dream big, there was still those voices in my head that were like, you're not good enough for that. You're not pretty enough. You're not skinny enough to be on the red carpet. Like all these things. And, when I think about my relationship to my body, and it's like, I love what I look like now, right? It wasn't always that way. I've learned to embrace and be grateful for my body. Thank God for this body of mine, but like, I didn't just wake up like this. I didn't wake up like this. I had to learn how to talk to all the voices in my head. And it's a daily process. It's a moment to moment relationship with yourself. I love this quote. I forgot who said it, but it said, at least when you talk to yourself, someone's listening. So how often are you talking to yourself and saying things that are actually encouraging and motivating and kind and compassionate, right? Rather than being cynical, rather than belittling yourself, rather than, telling yourself you're not, worthy. Those aren't your voices. But because they're in your head, it's your responsibility to learn to understand them and quiet them. And you don't quiet them by compartmentalizing. You quiet them by showing it some love and some understanding. Just try to understand those voices in your head. And how you learn to do this is by saying those voices out loud. That's what my book is about. That's what the program is about. And I'd love for you to join January 5th. We begin January 5th. So I'll put the link below in the show notes. And if you are listening to this on my website, I'll put the link below. But y'all, let 2023, let it be the year of you being more of you. You be more of you by learning to understand those voices that tell you that you're not, right? And don't get mad at yourself. Don't get angry with yourself. I mean, listen, anger is a great fuel. I've used anger many times in my life to fuel things, but it's like, don't be hard on yourself if it's not working, right? There's a time and a place. In my book, I call it gentle firmness. There's a time and a place to be gentle but firm with yourself, right? That's when you're experiencing resistance, right? But no one teaches us how to talk to ourselves. We're literally talked at from the time that we're kids. So who teaches us how to talk to ourselves? Nobody, because we're talked at from the time we're born. Right? So it's up to you to learn how to talk to yourself, and then you teach other people how to talk to you. But it starts with you. And this affects every area of your life, from being unapologetic about putting your message out there, to expressing your needs clearly in relationships, to walking away from friendships and relationships and partnerships that no longer serve you. But you got to heal those voices in your head that keep you scared and keep you stuck and make you feel like you're not good enough or you have something to be afraid of. You have nothing to be afraid of. I'm telling you this from having been on one side and now gone through it. You have nothing to be afraid of. You don't have to be afraid of those voices in your head that tell you that you need to be afraid of other people. I want you to be more afraid that you're going to die and have regret, because that is what keeps me going. I don't want to die with regret. I don't want to wake up on my deathbed and been like, fuck, I should have done this. I shouldn't have been so scared. And I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm actually en route to a very magnanimous, celebratory, and beautiful, peaceful life filled with fulfillment and satisfaction. And I want that for you. I don't leave anyone behind. That's why I create these groups. That's why I offer my one-on-one. That's why I have this podcast. I'm just here, living my life out loud, encouraging you to do the same. So I can't wait to see you inside of my Say It Out Loud group program. This is the final episode for 2022. If you've been listening this whole year, thank you for being on the journey. Please share this podcast with a friend, subscribe, leave a 5-star review if you haven't. I am here for you. I love you. Take care of yourself. It's time to say it out loud. If you love today's episode, then say it out loud. Subscribe, leave a review, and come say hi over on Instagram at My Name is Vasavi. Until next time, say it out loud.